How you doing, good people? This is the 8-Bit Animal. And in 1981, Nintendo releases basically the game that saved their business in America, Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong is an actual legendary piece of video game that started life as a conversion kit. Yeah, Donkey Kong low-key was a conversion kit for Radar Scope, their Space Invader clone that didn't really do too good in the US. But that's another video for another day. Universal Studios sues Nintendo because they say that Nintendo stole their IP and their intellectual property and all that in regards to King Kong. They go to court. Nintendo wheels in a Donkey Kong cabinet. The judge looks at it and plays it and realizes this ain't the same. Universal Studios loses. All is not lost though, because a few years later, Universal Studios releases the sequel to their 1970s reboot of sorts of King Kong, called King Kong Lives. King Kong Lives is a movie that I had never heard of until I began researching this video. And in true 80s film fashion, a video game was produced to tie in. Although this game did not get released here in the States, only got released in Japan on Famicom. And the game was developed and published by Konami, because back then, Konami was money. Let's have a talk real quick about it. Today, we're going to take a quick look at King Kong 2, Ikari no Megaton Punch. Now, this game follows the plot of King Kong Lives pretty faithfully, to an extent. King Kong he's in a coma after falling from the World Trade Center and has been in a coma for some years, and the doctor decides that he needs a new heart and a blood transfusion. They track down a giant Kong-like female gorilla, and they use her for the blood transfusion and give King Kong a new electronic heart. Kong is alive. Kong goes looking for her, and that's where the game takes place, because she's been locked away. Kong has to go through about 9-10 levels to get the keys that he needs to get into the facility where she's being held and rescue her. One hilarious point of reference, the girl gorilla is pink. She ain't pink in the movie. She's just another gorilla. She ain't pink. That's hilarious. But this game gives me a whole lot of, the terrestrial sections of Guardian Legend, where you're just kind of meandering about this stage, these really big stages, to find what you need to advance to the next stage. Well, that's what this feels like. I would compare it to Legend of Zelda because more people know Legend of Zelda, but this doesn't feel like Legend of Zelda. This feels like Guardian Legend. It's top down. There is jumping involved, which is always wild to me. Top down games with jumping, because I'm reminded of the top down sections of Rygar or the Gremlins 2 game. But this works. You control King Kong, and Kong has two weapons: his fists Well, three technically. His fists, his jump, and boulders. You can collect boulders as a projectile weapon. Now, if you find a little box, you can collect more. Kind of like the firebox in Goonies 2. You get the firebox, you can hold more Molotov cocktails, kind of like that. But yeah, this game is something that we probably would have ate up here in the States, but the timing wasn't right for it. This wasn't something that this would have gone crazy had it been released in like 86, 87. Cause look at it. It looks great, especially for that time period. Sound quality's great on it. The music is fantastic because it's Konami. Yeah, this would have done great, but Konami already had a movie-based game in the works for the US market, Goonies 2. So, yeah, we kind of lost out. But this game, for what it's worth, yeah, we absolutely kind of missed out on this one. There's hidden levels, like you find doors, and doors will teleport you somewhere else, and the boss fights are kind of like the bosses in Blaster Master, and it's just this really interesting take on a top-down action-adventure game from the perspective of a gargantuan gorilla. And I dig it. I dig it a lot. Now, if you decide you want to find yourself a copy of King Kong 2, first of all, if you can't find a repro and you go looking for a Famicom cart, make sure it will play on your hardware. Don't come back to me saying, "Oh, Mr. Animal, you didn't tell me." No, I'm telling you now. Make sure it'll play on your console, because worst thing you can do is buy a game and it don't work. That's embarrassing. Now, that being said, loose carts for this are cheap, like $8, $10, maybe $12. You can get one cheap. And it's a steal because this is a good game. So yeah, if you can find a copy and you got something you can play it on, get a copy of King Kong 2. It's a lot of fun. And you don't need a whole lot. I want to say most of the text and cutscenes and stuff are in English. If not, you don't need a whole lot of text in this game. There's not a whole lot that you need that involve text. So get it and go crazy. Trust me, you'll like this. This has been the 8-Bit Animal, and I'll catch you beautiful people tomorrow.
8-Bit Animal.
Tomorrow? Yeah, that's buku money. But that thing big. We're gonna need a bigger boat yet.